probably know about the bog people found in northwestern Europe, but did you know there has been a find of bog people in the United States? It's true. Just down the road from Disney World in Florida is a peat bog named Windover Pond, where 168 bodies over 7,000 years old were found. Windover Pond is the site of one of the most significant finds ever made in North America, an underwater cemetery created by ancient people about 8,000 years ago. The discovery was made totally by chance in 1982 by a developer's backhoe. The backhoe operator discovered human bones in the black peat he was digging from the bottom of a pond. Members of the anthropology department of Florida State University visited the site, and their first thoughts were that because of the exceptional state of preservation, the bones were only a few hundred years old. Normally, bone deteriorates in an unprotected grave in about 500 to 600 years due to the high acid level of Florida's soil and water, but these remains were dated to be over 7,000 years old. A few weeks into the project, a most significant find was made. One of the project directors found a lump of slippery dark brown material inside a skull. There was speculation that it might be preserved brain tissue, but that surely would not be possible after 7,000 years. Laboratory tests proved, however, that the material was indeed human brain tissue. Over the 3 6-month field seasons, 91 skulls were found to contain brain tissue. Some contained complete brains. Although they were shrunken to a third their normal size, the brain hemispheres and convolutions were clearly intact. The skeletons found during the first 2 field seasons were scattered or mixed with the bones of others. This intermingling and scattering was caused by shifts in the peat due to changes in water level and climate over the thousands of years. During the 3rd field season, many fully articulated skeletons were found. All the bones of one person were where they would normally be in relation to one another in the body. These articulated skeletons gave information as to how the bodies were buried. In many cases they were buried laying on their left sides, in fetal position with their heads to the west and faces to the north. There may have been some religious or other reason for their being buried in that position. Only 2 were found to have been buried in an extended position, as we bury our dead today. Some of the findings over the 3 field seasons revised ideas on the types of life people lived 7,000 to 8,000 years ago. They were less nomadic than was previously believed. There was no doubt that they loved and cared for the kin and friends they laid to rest in this small pond. They wrapped many of them in fabric and laid them to rest with valuable artifacts, such as bone and antler tools, carved wooden objects, shark's teeth, and stone points. Many artifacts made from wood, bone, or antler were found over the 3 seasons. Several were scribed in geometric patterns. A small bone from a bird was intricately patterned with fine, precise lines, which were probably made with a shark's tooth as a tool. The hollow bone may have been used as a whistle. Why was the wood, bone, human brain tissue, and other materials so well preserved? The answer lies in the way the bodies were buried and the nature of the water in the pond. The bodies were evidently buried soon after death, probably within 24 hours, before the process of decay had started. With peat covering the bodies, an anaerobic atmosphere was created. Another factor was the almost neutral pH level of the water and the peat. For some unknown reason, Windover Pond is only slightly acidic, while a number of other nearby ponds tested highly acidic.